The medical trader. Discipline creates freedom. Option chain fundamentals. A calm first look. Before we begin, what you'll learn today: where to find the option chain in Robinhood, how to read calls versus puts on the screen, what in the money, at the money, out of the money means, what expirations, strike, bid, ask, and volume are, a quick look at the Greeks, orientation only, no deep math, reassurance. This is just a calm tour, not a strategy lesson. Why the option chain looks so intimidating, and it's okay. If you're looking at the option chain and thinking, wow, that's a lot, you're not alone. When I first opened an option chain, it looked like a wall of numbers and columns, and I remember thinking, how does anyone make sense of this? The truth is, it is a lot at first. You've got calls on one side, puts on the other, rows of strike prices, expirations, bid, ask, volume, and then something called the Greeks on top of that. What helped me was slowing down and breaking it into pieces. Over time, as I studied the basics and then the Greeks, it stopped feeling like chaos and started feeling like a map I could read. In this episode, I'm not asking you to memorize everything. I just want to give you a calm first tour so the next time you open an option chain, it doesn't feel scary. Chain on Robinhood. So we're on our home page. You can see we have our watch list over here. We're just going to take our first stock on the watch list, which is Tesla. And once we click on it, it's going to open it up. The market's open, so you can see Tesla's moving. Here's our order ticket where we buy the shares. Robinhood makes it very easy. Right underneath, you can see it says Trade Tesla Options. So we're going to click on that. And then you're going to see all these confusing numbers. And hopefully this makes it easy. So the first thing we're going to do is look at expiration dates. Contracts or option contracts have expirations, and this is where you're going to see the expiration date. You can scroll here and you can see they have weekly options, and you can see how many days out there are also by clicking on that. Then the other thing we're going to see is here is where they have the calls and the puts. So if you want to do call or put, you will just click each one. You can see how it highlights, very simple. You can also buy or sell call or puts. Same thing. You're going to click buy or sell, and we'll go over all that in the future, but this is how you find them. The next thing we're going to see is in the money, at the money, and out of the money. So this line here represents at the money. It represents exactly where the price of Tesla is now. Now we're going to go to calls, and anything below is going to be in the money. Anything above is going to be out of the money. And this is the confusing part. We're going to switch to puts. Good news is this line doesn't change. This is our at the money price. This won't change. But now with puts, this is in the money. Now down below, this is out of the money. So it reverses. And we'll go over all that in a future episode. The next thing we're going to see is the strikes. You can see what this says is strike price. These are the different strike prices. In the future, we'll go over all that too. Then what we're going to see is the bid and the ask. So we're going to choose one of these strike prices. And when you choose one, it's going to open up some more information. And this is where you're going to get your bid and ask. If you come over here, you're going to see your bid and ask, and what you want to do when you trade options is you want to see that the bid and ask are really tight. And then you see some numbers changing on the side. That's how many contracts are being traded at the moment. Then we're going to go over to volume and open interest. Open interest is how many contracts exist now. Volume are how many contracts are being traded today, and this has a very high volume. So if you were trading options, this would be a good place to trade options because the volume's so high, you would have no problem getting your option either sold or bought very quickly. And the Greeks. So here are the Greeks down below. They're very confusing, but there's two numbers that are real important. It's going to be delta and theta, and in a future episode we'll go over that. And I just want to reassure everybody, this is just a calm tour. We're not going into any strategies or anything. We're going to have future episodes that go into detail over everything. So now that you've seen a live option chain, let's zoom in on just a few key parts to focus on for now. First is the ticker and current price. That tells you exactly which stock or ETF you're looking at and where it's trading right now. Everything else on the chain is built around that number. Next is the expiration date. That's simply the date the option contract ends. After that date, the option is either exercised or it expires and disappears. Then we have the strike price. Think of the strike as the agreement price for that contract. The price where you're agreeing to buy or sell in the future depending on the type of option. You'll also see whether each contract is a call or a put. Calls are built around the idea of buying, puts are built around the idea of selling. We'll go much deeper in both in future episodes. The bid and ask tell you whether buyers are currently offering and what sellers are currently asking. The spread is a little negotiation happening in real time between the two sides. Finally, there's a rough sense of delta and theta. For now, I just want you to see delta as a measurement of sensitivity to price changes and theta as a measurement of time decay, how much the option loses value as days pass. No math, no stress, just a feeling of what those two are doing. In future episodes, we'll take each of these pieces one at a time and go deeper. For now, I just want you to recognize them on the screen and feel a little more comfortable when you open the option chain. If there's any part of the option chain that still feels confusing, that's completely normal. This is a lot of new information. If you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. I read every comment. I'm happy to help you stay calm and clear as you learn. In the next episodes, we'll slow things down even more. We'll take calls, puts, and later spreads one at a time and walk through how they work using the same option chain as our map. You don't have to learn everything at once. Just keep coming back one calm lesson at a time. For our moment of calm today, we just taken our first look at the option chain. It's okay if part of it still feels new. You don't have to understand everything at once. You just have to be honest about what you truly understand. I'll leave you with a quote that fits trading options and life in general. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so.